All right, so let's say you saved up a pretty nice amount for emergency savings. Say it's 6 months of your expenses. So if your expenses were $3,000 a month, that would be $18,000, right? For rainy day. And what do you do next? Well, the next thing we want to do is actually invest, grow your money. They say that Albert Einstein famously said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. So I'm going to explain to you what it means for you, or what can you do with it. So when we are making auto deductions and paying ourselves, everything is going great. A nice thing to do would be to actually grow that money. And if you go online to investor.gov, there are financial tools, and one of the tools is compound interest calculator. So compound interest, all it means is if you invest $1,000, right, and then into some enterprise or stock market, and next year you make, let's say 10% on your investment, so $1,100, right, is total. So the following year, actually all the following time, your interest or your return will be based on the principal, which is $1,000 plus that $100 interest. So in the following year, it's kind of like grows exponentially instead of, I guess, arithmetically, right? So if you go to investor.gov and you can find the compound interest calculator, I can show you something really exciting. So we're gonna see how we can become millionaire. So let's say it says initial investment, we're gonna put down $1,000. I have my laptop here, and I'm inputting $1,000 under initial investment. And then let's say we contribute $1,000 a month, right? For the sake of the argument. So we're gonna put down 25 years. So that's hopefully is our retirement age or pre-retirement, the sooner the better. Time is our biggest ally when it comes to growing our money. And so if you're young, that's very good for you, so start today. And we're gonna put estimated interest rate. Interest rate is what typical stock market returns. So obviously it could be very volatile, but historically, stock market returns 10%. So we're gonna put that there. And compound it. So we're gonna compound it daily because it's always in the market, it's always going. And then we're going to calculate it. So if we're gonna do that, if we take $1,000 and then add $1,000 a month to it and invest into just broad US-based stock market mutual funds, not specific stocks, then we can expect in 25 years to have $1.35 million, which I think is really, really good, especially if you consider that you only invested $361,000. Like for 25 years, if you invest $1,000 a month, total money out of pocket is $361,000, but the market will give you $1.3 million. That's why we love compound interest. And before you do that, read up on it. Read up on, let's say, Warren Buffett, what his philosophy, or Benjamin Graham, Intelligent Investor, all the classics. So you don't go out and start speculating, buying specific hot stocks, right? And then suddenly they crash, or some sure investment on the next kind of craze or fashionable stock, right? Unless you are an expert, then don't do it. Most people cannot outsmart the market, but you can invest into broad US stock market or even international stock market and have really healthy returns without a huge downside or potential of losing everything. I mean, obviously with any investment, there is a risk of losing things, but for many years, for decades, the returns were there. And so I think there's a reasonable assumption that they'll continue to be there. So just to recap, the compound interest is a magical tool, but it's also a very mathematical tool, which will allow you to get much more money, which will allow you to grow your money exponentially and be a millionaire, as long as you're consistent and not sporadic. So the trick to all of this is to do it automatically, do auto deductions and like auto investments, right? So Don't look at it. Don't try to time the market, or when it suddenly drops, don't try to pull out your investments and lock in your losses. When it rides high and everybody's going crazy and speculating, don't try to start dumping more and more money into it. That's just kind of like gambling. So do get proper education, read up on it, and basically be very careful and conservative, because you work so hard for your money, so we don't want you to lose it, right? But definitely do not miss out on the opportunity of one of the greatest ways how people, at least in the US, create their wealth, right? So be a part of the game and make sure that you think for yourself. Don't listen to anybody. Think for yourself, read up, and educate yourself, because no one cares about your money as much as you do. I hope that was helpful. Please leave me a comment below, like the video, and let me know if you have any questions, if you'd like to learn more. And it's the beginning of the year right now. It's January of 2021, so it's a really great time to start healthy personal finance habits and keep our money and grow our money.